Dice Tower People's Choice Top 100 Games of All Time. Dice Tower People's Choice Top 100 Games of All Time.
Huzzah! We've made the front page of the list.
All right. How many pages did we have?
3.
That's not so good.
So we're gonna hit the top third today.
All right.
So, anyhow, let's see. Today, folks, we're talking about the People's Choice numbers 40 through 31. If you don't know what we're talking about and you just stumbled across this video, we're looking at the best board and card games of all time as chosen by almost 1,200 of you who voted on them. And so we're going to get started. And these games are just getting better and better.
They're getting higher and higher.
That was diplomatic. But here's the thing. I guess we can spoil this. Last week, or on Tuesday, we had 3 games that had never been on the list before. Flashpoint Fire Rescue, Castles of Burgundy, Elder Sign. Today, all 10 games have been on the list before. Did I just spoil? But where on the list? And one of the games had a massive jump up, and I know why, and it has nothing to do with eating, or eaten, or wheaten. Let's get started.
Ticket to Ride Europe.
Ticket to Ride Europe. Now, I've always been curious about this one because there's a lot of Ticket to Ride games, and in fact, there's a possibility that one or more Ticket to Rides is on this list. Okay, spoilers, right? I've always been surprised that this one has been so popular as opposed to the other spin-offs of Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
Like Ticket to Ride Markland, which in my opinion is one of the best itinerations. I thought it was so cool, but it never has made it big.
Right.
Ticket to Ride Switzerland, Nordic countries, you know.
Yeah, I think those were a little niche, though. The 2 to 3 player one, the Switzerland.
That's true.
I know this is my favorite.
Because it's the kindest?
No, because it's the in-between in complexity between vanilla USA map and Markland with all the little circle, the points you put everywhere on the map and they spill everywhere, and I really like the in-between, and this to me feels like the in-between.
I like Ticket to Ride Europe, don't get me wrong, it's just that those stations feel like a cop-out almost.
Really?
Well, it's like, it's in regular Ticket to Ride, you're like, I need to finish my route. Mm-hmm. You just cut me off. Here, if you cut me off, big deal. I'll use a station.
You're wasting points, though.
3 points. That's still better than the 19 that you would lose. Also, I'm not real big on the distribution of long and short tickets. At first, I thought that was a cool idea. Now it's kind of fiddly. I like being able to draw tickets. But they did make a Ticket to Ride Europe 1912 pack of thing, and I really like that.
Yeah.
That really increased this game for me.
Yeah, I think this is just an excellent game. This will stick on the list for years. This is not going anywhere.
Well, it was 45 last year, went up to 40. So you're
go.
right. This will probably be here next year. Ticket to Ride Europe.
Number 9, Fiddle.
Citadels. Now, whenever I've showed this one in the past, people say, your box is so big. That's because this was the original box Citadels came in.
This is the one I have too.
Now it's in now it's in one of these.
Oh, the baby one.
It's one of these boxes.
Yeah.
That's a big difference in size. Yeah, and it really doesn't need to be in a big box. The small box would have suited it. Citadels was number 27, dropped down to 39 a little bit. So, basically holding steady. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm happy to see that it's still here and so many people like it.
Me too. I think it's a great role selection game, and
when this came out, everyone loved it. Yeah. Now it's almost cool to not like it. Well, I don't like Citadels. That assassin made the game so much unfun for the person who got assassinated because he lost 1 turn. And then I had people tell me, but I got assassinated 4 times in a row. Well, then you need to stop being predictable.
Stop picking that one guy. I know you took it. I will kill you again.
Well, it's not just that. There's some people, they pick a different person, they keep getting killed because they're not looking at the whole table and thinking, who would the assassin kill?
Sure.
You need to look at the person with the most money and the person who's winning and think, what would they pick? And then not pick that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know role selection games, to me, seem to be on the up and up, and this is one of the classics,
It is.
I think it holds up. It's a little long is the only complaint I have about it these days.
Well, I think you can fix that by, instead of playing to 8 buildings, play to 7.
Right.
And then not play more than 5 players.
Right, which is a couple of fixes that sadly you do have to make. But the game holds up, and it's a really fun game. A lot of groups I know play the heck out of Citadels.
Yep. So good choice. Good choices. Not as good as your next choice, though.
By one.
Dirty and hero escape.
This game, it's kind of hard to put on the table.
Go get it.
I'm not getting it. I'm just getting some of it.
Should I tell the people what it is?
We've already told them. Here, we'll bring out the dragons. You know, the ratings would have gone up for this episode if I had taken one of those bins and dumped it over your head of all my HeroScape stuff.
That's gonna do some damage.
But then you would have left. I'm like, folks, I'm here to do the rest of the top 100 by myself.
Cardboard standing.
Look at us. Woo, woo, woo. Ooh, let's get married. Oh, anyhow. That's the very first thing my daughters did. When I brought HeroScape out, Melody was like 6, and she was like, look, the dragons are getting married. I'm like, you're ruining the game.
You marry me.
HeroScape allows us to take dragons and robots and superheroes and everything and fight against one another on these big boards. I mean, just look at HeroScapers.com. Go to that website and you'll see people who are literally insane about this game.
Yeah.
Building setups that, they could have bought a new house with all the money they spent on HeroScape.
Well, they probably bought some of that while it was being liquidated.
No, but it is a really cool game. It's sad that it's out of print, but a lot of people still do like it quite a bit. Have you played it?
I have played it. And yeah, it's just the visual wow of this game is just stunning. Once you set up that massive board and you got all the dragons and robots, like you said, it just puts you there. And it's a little Risk-like. I don't think I'm mistaken in saying that, but man, looking at this game set up just takes you to a whole different
completely
place.
boggles my mind that there wasn't some way that they found to keep it in print. Because it was so popular to keep the base game in print.
Yeah.
It is Hasbro, though. If a smaller company had the rights to this, you think it would still be in print? I think so. It'd be their moneymaker.
I guess so.
Well, we can hope. Hope someday it will come back in print. You know why it's out of print? Because of Will Wheaton.
You didn't put it on your show, did you?
See?
You killed HeroScape.
Whoops.
No. 37. Lord of the Rings card game.
I don't have a copy of this one either. Lord of the Rings, the card game, which is probably a good thing, because if I did have a copy of this, I would be like on a crack addict. Well, because they come out with a new pack for it every month.
Oh.
And I'd be like, oh, where's the newest Lord of the Rings expansion? And like, after a while, see, some games that come out with new expansions, you build new decks and stuff. It's hard for me to imagine this model working with a cooperative game. Oh, we said there was no cooperative games.
Oh, that's true. Sorry,
true.
Go back and fix that. There's one.
This is a cooperative game where you're working together.
Living card game.
A living card game.
One.
Have you played this?
I have not played.
What? Okay. Well, I've played it, and it's a good game, and it's interesting. It's just that it's a cooperative game is a game I'm trying to get people to play together, and if I was going to do this with a living card game, I have to be playing with the same people all the time. Because otherwise, I mean, I'm not going to say, okay, in this specific scenario we're going to play, you need to remember all these different rules.
Right.
It's kind of like teaching people to play Magic the Gathering with different sets all the time.
Right.
You rather have a starter thing. So I see why it's on the list, because it's Lord of the Rings, Hobbit's about to come out.
Yeah, that's hot. That's hot. I know the original complaint I heard is that the base sets were just slim pickings, and they really needed those expansions.
I've only played the base sets, and I thought it was fine.
Yeah. That's probably true for most living card games, so not a big dent there. And as you said, living card game, that's great. Lord of the Rings, great. I can see why it's on the list, and it's a good choice. I haven't played, but I hear very good things.
All right.
Number 36. Dominic Species.
Dominant species.
Whew, that looks boring. Yeah.
You know, I thought it looked a little boring when no, okay. you're looking at the board, but you cannot argue that the cover looks boring.
That's cool.
It's a cool cover.
That's cool.
All right. The board looks a little boring, and when you open up, it might even be more so because there's a lot of cubes in this game and a lot of little wooden dunce caps and cones. But it's actually a very good, solid game, and it's very in your face. It has some difficulties. It's long.
Right.
It's very, very competitive. So if you're mad that your snakes just got wiped out by the other guy's spiders, you won't like it. But it obviously has a lot of people liking it to have gotten this high on the list.
Yeah, I think...
Notice that Urban Sprawl's not on the list.
Right. This is not one I've played because it says 2 to 4 hours on the cover, and I don't want to go there. But you're saying it's a very vicious game?
It's a very vicious game.
I know it's gotten a lot of play in our group. I know when it came out originally, a lot of people were playing it, and a lot of people are still playing it. This game
it's popular. It almost feels like a Martin Wallace attack game.
It kind of it made an impact. It stayed in people's minds, and they had that awful card game spin-off. But this game,
you did play that one, didn't you?
I think I did, and
yeah, that one didn't make the list either. Why not? All right. Anyway, dominant species.
So 35 survive.
Good. For as long as I... Okay. Survive is a game that's on the list, and I am absolutely not even remotely surprised to see it on here. It even went up. It was 41 to 35. This is the set that came out. This is actually has fewer things in than the first set that he came out with. It had dolphins and dive dice. This set has... It's just a basic game.
Yeah.
This one can only be played with 4 players, while the first one could be expanded up to 6. Although I've heard rumors, actually not rumors, I know he's making a little mini expansion for this, so if you want to add the dolphins and stuff, you can.
Right. Yeah, that's been out if I'm not mistaken. The octopus and the dolphins and all that.
No, but that was originally included in the first game.
Okay.
It wasn't included in this one, but they're making a mini expansion for this. But this one can be sold in any store. Survive is like one of the ultimate gateway games because it's not that hard.
Yeah, this is family weight all the way.
It's a good way to teach your kids the class system. That guy's only worth 1 point? Well, who cares if he dies?
Kill ones and below. The funny thing is, I think we're not mistaken in saying it's a great family game. The rules are streamlined for the most part. Everybody gets into the theme. You want to rescue your guys. The monsters are moving around. But the game is pretty vicious.
It is.
Which is funny to play.
I've had kids.
Oh, hi, Timmy.
I've had kids cry. I'm sorry, Timmy. That was your boat I just moved the sea monster into and killed 3 of your people?
It wasn't me.
You should have put them all in one boat.
Water demon.
So you say you like this game?
I do like this game. Again, it's my type of game. Okay, family, weight, Euro-ish kind of games I enjoy quite a bit. And
I'm going to argue that this isn't Euro at all. This is straight up Ameritrash. Killed everyone else. Come on, what's Euro about it? The fact that there's wooden pieces?
No, the streamlined mechanics I think are pretty Euro.
Yeah, but I think we're past the point where we're even going to call that Euro anymore.
Okay. But yeah, definitely a great family weight game.
Great family, but your kids might cry.
Don't eat their stuff.
34. Daddy's sleep. Trigger.
Now, if you've been watching this series through, you already know what Z's opinion on this game is going to be, simply because of the designer. Yes, but see, you've played this one. I know you have.
Yes!
I love this game. It's so brutally vicious. You build this wonderfully big spaceship, and then it's going to get blown to pieces, and everyone's going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you.
And it's high school all over again.
But see, this is light. I don't get why you don't like it.
Because it's stupid, too. It's, it's light, and yeah, you're grabbing tiles and going, ooh, I'm making things. That's fun. And then you sit there for a while and flip cards and watch it fall apart. It's like half a game. it's half a neat game. You know what I mean?
No, it's way more than that. It's a lot of fun.
The second half just made no sense to me. It was so random, silly.
Well, you're wrong because the people put it. Look how high they put it.
That is true. I am surprised that it's really high. I did not know.
34. It was at 35 last year. Straight consistency.
Yeah, and there's a couple of expansions for it.
And they just released another one.
Yeah,
where it's even worse. They have one now where the spaceship actually is 2 sheets put together.
Oh, really?
You're building this
massive
mega spaceship.
Wow. I have to try that. I think I might like that.
All right. Well, we'll try it at least once.
No, I know. People do like the heck out of the game, and hey, it's a cool game. It's a cool looking. It's different for sure.
Yes, that is true. Galaxy Train.
From 33 through the ages.
Through the Ages I no longer have because I only can keep one really long Civilization game, and Through the Ages is a very good one, but I decided to keep 7 Ages instead, even though 7 Ages is longer.
Isn't that the one that's like days long?
No, it's like 8 hours.
Okay. It's not so bad.
Come on. Only 8 hours. But Through the Ages was the first game that came out that made people think of Sid Meier's Civilization.
Mm-hmm.
When it first came out, there were people raving about it, and I still see it being played in our game group even today.
That's true.
I would be very excited if they came out with like a nice app for this or a computer way to play it, and then I would say, wow, that's pretty cool, but I'm just going to go play Civilization on the computer.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Did you ever play this one?
I haven't. I know it's supposed to be pretty long, though, isn't it?
Well, it's not. I mean, comparatively, we're talking not 2 hours, 3 hours probably,
Okay.
which isn't really that long for a Civilization game.
That's true, and it is pretty portable. I do know that, so I think that's partly why it gets the edge sometimes, because you can just throw it in a backpack and go, and you have a big game with you.
Right.
In a little box, that's always an attractive proposition.
It did drop a little, 22 to 33, but that's not a big drop really, and it's still on the list. So
I think, and it seems to me that the trend is the closer we get to the top 10 or so here, the games are getting a little heavier.
Well, wait, you haven't seen the next one. Let's go do it.
From 32, Warriors.
Now, this one actually is not the original game, it's just in a new box, mostly because they came out with these expansion sets that hold all the dice in so nice and neatly.
That's nice.
That's pretty.
Oh, wait job.
They almost fell. How far can I...
Tom Vassell, everybody. Thanks. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, but... Well, you're not really
roll
supposed
dice
to.
now.
You're not supposed to do that. Okay, and they were even all. Look, I even had them all so that the
Oh, you
shapes
do
were the
this for
same
every
way.
video. What are you complaining about?
Okay, but Quarriors, I love the fact that Quarriors on the list here. What is it, 32? I think that's great because so many times I meet people who say Quarriors, dead game. No one plays it anymore.
Really?
Yeah, but it was 64 last year and it's up to 32 this year.
Wow.
Cut its score in half. And it's because this game is that popular. It takes these very serious deck building games like Dominion,
Right.
and it just makes them fun. I would say this is the funnest of the deck building games because you're just rolling dice and sees what happens.
Chucking dice.
You make
building
monsters.
a little bag of dice, chucking them out, and I haven't played since they made the rules update or whatever they want to call it, but I hear it got even better.
Oh yeah, the rules update was a big thing for me. The fact that you could buy 2 dice and that you could, when you scored someone, you had to get rid of the die you scored with.
Right. I played before that, and it is a fun game.
Yeah, but I mean, even without that rule, it was just a straight up fun game. You're not looking for anything, terribly in depth here, and it comes with all these custom dice.
Yeah,
It's rocking.
Really cool looking.
So that's Quarriors. You gonna help me clean these up?
Okay.
From 31, Canoe.
And the last one for today, A Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Now,
I've actually, I can't laugh because I've never, I think I need to stop filming. I've never read the books. I've never seen the show. And the only Game of Thrones game I've ever played is the old CCG, which became the LCG.
Okay, well, I'm looking at these other games coming up, and I know you've played like 90% of them, so you're not fired yet.
All right.
But I don't think you need to read the books or watch the movie, but the game does a good job. Now, this is one where the game jumped from 80 last year to 31, and that's real simple. They printed a second edition of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks great.
Yeah.
I saw that Dice Tower convention this summer. Did you see the guys playing it?
I did.
It was really good looking.
Yeah.
It is it's like diplomacy, but fun. It has a really strong
Sorry,
theme to it. I'm not sorry. Diplomacy didn't even make the top 250.
Hence why I'm apologizing to Diplomacy. It's a
Why?
classic. It's like talking mean to an old man. You just don't do it.
No, it's like talking mean about a dead guy who really was mean.
Get out of here, Cosmic Encounter. I like Cosmic.
Get
He's
out.
a cool cat.
Okay. All right. Well, anyhow, again, that's the reason it's risen so much. I think this is a very niche game to some degree.
Right.
I'm not going to bring it out and play it with everybody, but if you've not played it and you like war games and stuff like that, you should try it at least once because there is a lot going on in this game that's not in other games.
I think at least part of that rising so much has to be, though, that TV show.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that.
TV show is
the
hot.
second edition plus the TV show.
Yeah.
I think that's a slam dunk.
Right,
And
that's a
and Will
killer
Wheaton.
combination. And Will Wheaton probably somehow made a phone call late one night and said, "Get this game on the list," and hence it was.
All right. Well, anyhow, that's it for today. Next week we're going to be doing 30 to 11. That's so close to finishing. Look at these
30?
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good game. Good.
Yeah.
You like that one?
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
that one? Are you kidding?
Yeah. No. Oh.
Okay. Well, you guys like these games, and next week when we come back, there's actually 4 games on the next, or no, like 4 of the next ones we're going to be talking about are brand new to the list. So, what games were so good that they jumped all the way to the top? See you next time. Oh, and check out the website, dicetower.com, for a list of all these games and other great top 100 lists, including my own. Well, that's pretty much it, and Melody's. Anyhow, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Z Garcia.
We'll see ya.
Dice Tower People's Choice Top 100 Games of All Time.